Hey guys, happy Tuesday. This is Tim at Duncan Real Estate Group. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today is Tuesday Business Tip, and today we're going to talk about culture test. So we've talked about seeking out a mentor, a coach, somebody in your life that can help you get better in different areas. We've talked about delegation and how to properly delegate tasks or responsibilities onto other team members. Heck, it even works for family members. I've delegated stuff to my kids. It's fantastic. Learning that tool has been very important to me. We've talked about spending an additional small amount of time with each team member on a daily or weekly basis. That's been very beneficial for my team. And today we're going to talk about culture, making sure that the culture is what you want in your team. And so that's been really helpful for me to know what I need to do to be a better leader, how to make my workplace better for my employees. And then also, surprisingly enough, it's helped me find out how my employees rate themselves and how I can have a constructive conversation with them about where can you do better and where do you think you're not doing well? And hey, how can I help you do better? Like, what do you need from me and what do you want from me? So I'm going to go over that with you for a minute. I have a template that you guys can use. I'm going to try and attach it to this email. If it's not attachable, there will be instructions on how you can get that from us if you own a business and are interested in a simple form. We always, I always think it's better to borrow than recreate. So I've borrowed this from somebody else. So if you would like to use it, please feel free to reach out to me and we're happy to send you the editable version for it so that you can just use that for your office. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 questions and they are 1 to 10. It can be an anonymous test. It can be my employees. I always tell them, I don't care if you put your name on it. They usually do. We have constructive conversation, and the theme or the basis on it is there is no judgment. There will be no retribution. You will not get in trouble we want you to be honest. We want to know how you genuinely feel about this. I cannot get better if I do not have honest feedback. And sometimes it hurts and it feels like it's a huge mountain you have to climb. But if we're not, I would rather find out about a problem now rather than an employee quitting or leaving and me not knowing how I failed or how I could have done better. So we do this every quarter. We just did it last week. I put it on their desk on Monday. I say, hey, this needs to be turned into my wife, Michelle, who is the does HR and payroll and everything for us. So it needs to be turned into her by 5 p.m. on the end of the week. And then we went out of town for the weekend. So we talked about them. We talked about how we could be better, what we need to do to improve our workplace. And it's really nice just to be able to continue to improve. So there are 1 to 10, a scale from 1 to 10. Nobody can ever be a 10. There's always room for improvement. Nobody can ever be a 10. The questions are, what can I do to rate me as your leader, 1 through 10? And then what can I do to be a better leader? How can I be better for you? The next question is, please rate us operationally. How are we with operations? Are things smooth? Is it chaotic? Do you know what you're doing whenever a phone rings and somebody says, I want to buy a house? Do you know what that process is going to look like? And what can we do to be more efficient, a well-run company? The third question is, please rate your personal performance. So how are you doing as an employee? Do you feel like you're exceeding expectations, reducing? And then what can you do to be a better employee or partner for the team? So how can you contribute more? Where do you need to grow? And that's been really helpful because it's an easy way that we can open that conversation and say, how can I be better for you? And how can you be better for me? We put the responsibility back on the employee to help us and take some responsibility for it. So it's really great. And then the last question, how well do you feel cared for here? Do you feel like you're loved? Do we appreciate you? Are we spending enough time with you? Do you know that you're a valued employee of our team? And what can our company do to make you feel more cared for? So we've worked extremely hard on this topic over the last 2 years, and this is our highest rated category. So if any of you want to know how to make your employees feel great, I feel like we're kind of getting that hammered down and we're excelling there. So we've got some work to do in the other categories, but guess what? Because I do this, I know what work needs to be done and it's not so overwhelming. So this was a longer video than normal, but I'm really hoping that it helps some of the younger business owners that this might be going out to be able to run their businesses better, have better work-life balance, and feel better connected with their employees. So because an employee that feels cared for actually performs more work and is more loyal to you and more gracious when you screw up, because I screw up all the time and they're super gracious to me, I guess. So hey, it's going to either be connected with a link or an attachment. If that's not the case, then you can call, text, or email. My contact information will be here in my office, and I will be super excited to get this over to you. Again, here's the document. It's a culture test. Thanks so much for taking the time. Talk to you later.